you are looking at the higher end of, higher range in kits, all manufacturers will have ranges. They'll have your entry-level kit, they'll have your, mid-level, they'll have your semi-pro, and then they'll have your really, professional kits. If you're looking at entry-level, the wood to look for is basswood. Okay, if you're looking at the brochure of the kit, if it's basswood, if it's oak, or if it's poplar, they're good woods. They're tried and tested. Yeah. If the wood is not mentioned, if they just write plywood, then obviously something is not right. Okay, the manufacturer should state what kind of wood they are using. If it's higher end, obviously at the top, at the top of the spectrum is maple. All the best kits in the world are maple kits. You have birch kits, which are used mainly for recording because they have a lot more volume and they're sharper in tone. Maple is warmer. Okay. You have mahogany, which has like a more vintage, old sounding. A lot of Gresh kits, a lot of Sonor kits, higher end will be mahogany because they have a very vintage, very dated kind of sound. Yeah. Other than that, hardware, of course, we'll come to that when I talk about the Matrix kit that's on display. We'll talk about hardware. Yeah. Now the next thing is tuning, and this is very important. Yeah. Before I get into tuning, I just want to say that drums are part of the percussion family. You know that. Yeah. Which means you hit something. Anything. You have different, families, groups of instruments that are kind of categorized according to how they are played and what the mechanism is that makes the sound. You have string instruments like your guitar. You have woodwinds. You have horn instruments. Yeah. You have percussion instruments. So in percussion instruments, you're obviously hitting something. Okay, you're striking something. It could be with your hand, like a conga or something like that. It could be a drum. It could be anything. It could be timbales. It could be shakers. Yeah, anything that's striking. Now, further, drums within percussion instruments, drums are basically instruments that have a membrane. The skin that you see, the drum head that you call, it's actually a membrane, right? It gets stretched across something, yeah? And you're striking this membrane. What happens when you're striking it? When you strike it, the vibration, or the sound wave as we call it, yeah, travels downward, vibrates against this, yeah, the non-batter head as we call it, yeah, and comes back up. Now once you realize that is your basis of how you're going to tune the kit. Okay, most people don't spend that much thought about tuning. So when you're tuning, what you need to do first, of course, is tune your batter head. Okay, the head that you're actually going to strike. And the way to do it is you take it from absolutely detuned, as in, which means if I put my finger here, there should be a lot of crinkles in the head. It should be completely loose. Yeah. Start off at that point and start tightening the lugs in a cross fashion. That means if I tighten this one, very small turns, half a turn, I will tighten this one opposite. Yeah. After that, I will go up to this one and leaving the one in between. Tighten that and tighten the one opposite. I will come here and tighten this one opposite. All equal turns. At all times, I will be striking the head about an inch or an inch and a half away from the hook. Okay, from the edge. Here. Okay, I'll keep striking that and keep going up till I get a desired tone and till it reaches a tension which I'm comfortable with playing. Okay, you need some kind of rebound, correct? Yeah. Which it basically needs to be comfortable enough to kind of strike, and you need to get that feel. Once I've done that, we come to our batter head, and this is important. There are three kinds of, three methods or three schools of thought as far as tuning the bottom head goes. Yeah. One is exactly the same pitch as the batter head. Okay. This is something that will come over time when you hit the head. so which is producing some tone, right? Dum, dum, right? You need to get that same tone down here. Yeah. One way, if you're initially, if you're not hearing the tone very clearly, you can invert the drum and place it on just a soft cloth. So this head kind of gets deadened, and then you focus only on this sound. So once you get both the heads to be exactly the same tone, that actually is the ideal tuning. The reason being, when you hit this one, the sound wave, it vibrates, sound waves travel down, and this should vibrate at the same frequency as this one. That's when you get your pure tone, because they both are vibrating at the same frequency. Yeah. The other school of thought is that if you're looking for more sustain, if you're looking for more resonance and more sustain, you want the note to hang longer, you actually tune this a little lower. In that case, what happens, this vibrates at a certain frequency, and that will vibrate slower. So the tone will basically linger on. On the other hand, if you want a very quick decay, if you're playing, as one thing, if you're playing pop music, if you're playing dance music, where the drums don't really kind of, they're not too big, the drum sound. In that case, you actually tune the lower head higher. So what happens is, that will actually vibrate faster, and the tone will decay off faster. Okay?